Hello and welcome to Comms Business Live. This morning I'm delighted to be joined by Paul White, who's founder and managing director of NTA, about a big announcement that the company made last week. So Paul, you've just announced that you've sold a large stake of NTA to an employee ownership trust. Firstly, where did the idea come from and why was now the perfect time to do that?
Well, it originally come from a friend of mine who has just said that their business has recently done the same thing. Well, I say recently, this was back last year. It takes a little bit of time for it to actually, process. But yeah, the idea of it, I tried to do something similar many years ago when I originally set up an EMI scheme for a few colleagues in the business. And I wanted to do something for the rest of the staff, but it was almost impossible to do it the way I wanted to do it, which was, a fair and even stake throughout the business, depending on how long people have been there and loyalty and stuff like that, and obviously based around, the wages and things like that. So, and when this EMI, this EOT was mentioned to me, it just seemed like a really great idea to investigate it. And then you then find out that businesses like John Lewis, Waitrose do the same thing. So a little bit different to the way the co-op do it, but definitely the way John Lewis are doing it. And although obviously we're not at that scale of employees, it seemed like something that would work quite well because it was, from about 10 employees upwards that you can do it with. So it works really well.
And why was now kind of the right time? Was it just about the scheme kind of teeing up with what you wanted the business to move towards, or were there other factors?
Yeah, I mean, once you pass that 50 years old stage, you got to start thinking about what you're doing next. Obviously, it only happened a few years ago for me. Before I tell you exactly how old I am. No, I'm 54, so it was a few years ago, but. Yeah. I just thought to myself, right, it's time to sort of, I've run this business since 2001. I've put blood, sweat and tears into it. It's time for me to relax a little bit and perhaps take a little bit out of it. And this is the perfect opportunity for myself and Charlotte French to actually be able to take, to relinquish a little bit of responsibility, but also have the opportunity to take out, some money out of the business slowly but surely. We've had other offers before, but none of the other offers really sort of met our expectations. And to be honest with you, I wanted to make sure that the staff were well looked after, and this is just the perfect way of doing all of that.
And talking about your staff, obviously this is a big announcement that will directly affect them. So what has been the reaction from your team?
Well, because none of them knew anything about it apart from, just a few key members to start off with. And because the process actually did take quite a long time, it was kind of, I wanted to announce it obviously to the staff first because it's very, very important. In some cases, you don't actually have to tell the staff, it sounds a bit ridiculous. But I wanted to make sure that they all knew what was going on. And I've got to be honest with you, I think still some of them don't actually fully understand or believe, what's been done, because, at the end of the day, it's not often that you get handed, some shares to a business without actually putting your hand in your pocket to pay towards those shares. And this way they don't have to.
And how will it affect the business kind of moving forward?
Well, I don't actually think it will affect the business that much. I mean, all the staff are very dedicated anyway. They're very loyal and, really drive the business forward anyway. So to expect more out of them is probably asking just a little bit too much. But at least now they do feel that they're not just putting it in for me and their wages. They're actually putting it in for everybody, and to become part of something bigger, which is really good. I mean, the staff are just fantastic anyway.
And a reward for hard work without expecting even harder work is always a lovely way to treat people.
Yeah, exactly. And and there is some opportunities as well through this scheme that they can get some tax-free bonuses each year, which is quite nice. Because there's nothing worse than being given a bonus and then find that you're being taxed on it. You're getting a bonus and so is HMRC. So at least this way, they get the bonus and get a chance to keep all of it.
Absolutely. So this is obviously a very important milestone for NTA and also all of your employees, but the work, of course, continues. So what can we expect from NTA kind of in the months ahead and looking into next year?
Yeah, so moving forward, I mean, we've just done our partner conference, which again, as we said, we announced it there to the partners as well, and they had a very shocked reaction to start off with, but when they realised what actually happened, actually broke out into a round of applause, which is really nice because it's nice to hear that from our resellers. I mean, I do feel that our resellers and partners really are an extension of our own business, and all of our resellers feel like they're part of NTA. It very much is a partnership. So one of the things that we did at the conference, we kind of held back for the last couple of months of what we've been developing within the business, and we made not only this big announcement of the EOT, but we also announced all of the development that was happening, stuff that was being released sort of straight away, and also stuff that's going to be released over the next 6 months, and some of those included things like Mobex for Teams, Mobex UC, transcribe voicemail, all those sort of things that our resellers have been looking for, as well as a brand new look and feel portal that the resellers have been asking for over the last 6 to 12 months.
Lovely. So lots of busy months ahead and lots of news still to come. Paul, thanks so much for sharing your news with us and kind of telling our viewers a little bit more about what it means for NTA and all of your team.
No problem. Thanks a lot.